What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG's back. It is time for a new video with a transfer update involving Cameron Archer, talking a little bit about Iheanacho also, and what we're going to do in these last few days as the window comes to a close on Monday. And I've got to say, I can't wait for it to be done. I want this to be done and dusted. This has been an uneventful month, with it seems like we're trying to do something as we come to a close. I just want this window to be done so we know where we are, we know where we stand with the players we've got, and we can rate it from there. We can do that. Listen, people, before we get into it, like the video. It's free. It helps out the channel. Please do that for me. Subscribe to the channel if you will. And of course, drop your thoughts and comments below. So let's get straight into it, because Ben Jacobs has given us a little update today. As we know, this long-standing interest in Cameron Archer hasn't gone away, and he just says today, Leeds haven't given up on Cameron Archer, top target in the final few days of the window, but Southampton haven't changed their mind about selling to date, but Leeds are still hoping that changes. Archer, the primary focus. Leeds not working on Iheanacho as it stands, and I'm just gonna have a little word on Iheanacho in a bit. But this thing here with Archer, and someone said to me, well, how long have they not known about Archer? Why are they only going in for him the last few days? What I'll just say on that is that clubs don't just decide to all of a sudden spend loads of money on one player on the whim of a day. This would have been in their thoughts for a couple of weeks, and maybe it's only come to light in the media over the last week or so. So I don't think it's like a knee-jerk reaction just to appease the fans that are saying we need to bring someone in. Because for me, and listen, some people think striker is a primary focus that we need in the team. Personally, I don't. I've given all my reasons why in the previous videos as to what we can do with scoring enough goals. For me, that isn't the main issue for the team. I feel like we could do with centre back cover, and more importantly, if you want to get a primary position that can possibly break into the starting 11, it'd be a 10. Obviously, goalkeeper, that goes without saying, but we know that's not going to happen. So it just seems weird to me that this Cameron Archer just seems to be the one. And I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. He cannot just be the one for you. And Leeds United cannot get caught up in a deal where we're at the whim of Southampton and saying, yeah, we'll accept our obligation to buy. How much do you want? 15 to 20 million? For me, if that does happen, I'll say it here, that will speak volumes to me about our ambitions for when we first go up to the Prem, when we go back to the Prem. Because if you're already spending an outlay of nearly 15 to 20 million on Cameron Archer, that kind of tells me in the kind of pool we're going to be playing in, and it's not a pretty pool, it's a dirty pool. So I hope with everything that we stay strong. I'm also hoping as well on Southampton's end that they are hoping that Sunderland or Burnley come in for him with a concrete offer, and they're just using us. I hope it is one of those where they're using the name of Leeds United to drum up interest from our promotion rivals in order for them to really cough up the money, because they know we're not going to do that kind of deal. And there's also something else in this. The Southampton manager, who, you know, it wasn't his signing, as someone pointed out to me yesterday, which is a great point. But he was asked about Cameron Archer. I don't think something will happen. He will stay with us, and we will work with him. And he was also asked later as well, do you expect any, major business? He says no. I mean, I think they've just released Stuart Armstrong to Sheffield Wednesday. I don't know if that's permanently or on loan, but he doesn't feel they're going to get much incomings, which just says to me even more, why would they be comfortable with losing an attacker, especially with an obligation to buy, when this player will be good for them in the Championship next season? So for me, it doesn't make any sense unless the manager really just does not fancy him at all. But Leeds United have got to stand strong. Danny Farker has said this before, he doesn't panic, and I want them to keep that. Even if they feel they're getting pressured by fans that are just hungry for any kind of body to get in the building, which is not where I am. I'm not there at all. If we close the window now, will it be disappointing that we haven't shored up a couple of positions? Of course it will. But I'm not losing my head about not signing one player this month. We should do, but I'm not going to be losing my mind about it. But if you're just going to bow down to the gallery and bring in someone just for the sake of it, this isn't the right way to go about it. If you can get it a straight up loan, I'm all for it. But then I have another question. When Bamford is eventually back, for however long that is, but he will be back at some point, how are you going to keep four strikers happy when you only literally play one? And that's where you go into, again, Farker's comments about not upsetting the group. Joseph won't be happy at the moment. Peru certainly won't be happy. Bamford is already not happy. How are you going to keep four strikers happy when you literally play one? And that's something else that they really have to consider. And I just hope that it isn't just Cameron Archer or bust. I really do. And Ben Jacobs follows on with Iheanacho. It's interesting that Ben Jacobs said that, and then literally a report basically an hour later, courtesy of Victor Orta, the Sevilla technical director, said he's weighing up offers, a few loan offers, and the report did say that Leeds could be included in that, and that we could be an option. And listen, if it's a choice between Archer and Iheanacho, and I'm sure, please give me your opinions in the comments. But I will take Iheanacho just purely because Sevilla want him off the books this season, and then they'll reassess it in the summer. They're not looking for an obligation. It would be a straight up loan, and that is where I would feel more comfortable. Who's the better striker? Probably, you know what? I'd probably edge it to Archer. I would. If you're talking championship pedigree, I've been more impressed with Archer at this level, but it's the next level that I'm concerned about, and having a massive outlay being assigned to a player that for me is not Premier League. He's not. He's not a Premier League striker. People can say he was in Sheffield United, he's been at Southampton. That you can stand out in those teams. You can stand out in those teams and make impression. Gus Harmer did that for Sheffield United. He's still a Premier League player playing his trade in the Championship. There are certain players that can, and for me, he just doesn't cut it. And I'll ask you, if you think we sign in Cameron Archer for the Premier League, do you realistically see him scoring 10 goals for us next season? Even if we get in a bunch of upgrades around the team, I don't see it. I don't think he's there yet. I don't. So if you're asking me straight up, I would take Iheanacho if we have to. But surely, and this is where I'll end it with this, surely there has to be other players out there that are available that can come in, that Danny Farker likes, that he likes their character, and are affordable to Leeds United. I've seen Derby County do deals for 4 million. I've seen Sunderland and Burnley both linked with Marcus Edwards, which would be a weird one for Sunderland, seeing as they've just bought Morgan Whitaker. So that's a real abundance of right wingers in kind of the same mold. But I'm seeing, Sheffield United doing their business, getting stuff done. Surely there's a bigger pool that we can play from and get in a striker if Danny Farker needs it. Like I've said, I don't feel we need a striker, but if this manager feels he needs another forward, then Leeds United board, get it done for the manager so we can get out of this division, please. And with as little cost as possible in terms of a obligation to buy it. It just worries me because it just paints a bleak picture for the future if we are getting Cameron Archer permanently, in my opinion. Just so quickly before I exit as well, Glenn Kamara, it's funny as well. I read someone saying Cameron Archer, he seems like to be the football's money laundering player, which I found very funny because I mentioned it yesterday about how many moves he's had. Glenn Kamara, who just left us this summer, he's about to go out on loan to Saudi Arabia. Jordan Henderson, who just moved back to Ajax recently, he's going to Monaco. There's all these moves from players where, and I've said it before, they look out for themselves first, and that's right, it's their careers. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like Cameron Archer is as well. Him and his agent, both of them, they both signed the deals. Just don't think it would be smart unless it's a straight up loan. But guys, do you think we should move on from Cameron Archer, or would you go all in for him? Let me know in the comments below. Like the video, and I'll see you in the next one, people. Got the match reaction up. So if you haven't pressed the bell for that one, press the bell and I'll speak to you about the game tomorrow. Unless there's something breaks later today, see you then. Peace out.